What's that? Oh,
What's what? Sorry,
I don't
starting.
know. That sounds like a feedback.
I'm not hearing anything. Oh, you're probably hearing my PlayStation in the background. It sounds like a fan.
Oh,
Well, hello there, everybody. JonesCat79 here with an impromptu rambling live. I'm your usual host, JonesCat79, aka Chris, joined by my usual co-host, darkneon, aka Derek.
oh my god! 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 Oh my god!
And yes, we are here tonight because of a little impromptu thing that happened. Something that caught a lot of people by surprise, me included, in that it was like a important investors call for Disney where they're showing off, support and everything like that, and they're showing up a couple of upcoming projects. And one of those things is part of Marvel Studios' new, MCU division on Disney Plus. That being She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Oh yes, they're finally getting to see something. I was telling him our Multiverse of Madness. They have got to have like we finally got Moon Knight and Doctor Strange that way. We have to have like the plate open for She-Hulk, and guess what just fucking happened, motherfuckers?
Yeah, I'm sure. This kind of makes up for half the things they've done recently that have made you half and half on their endeavors. But I'm sure if it's half as good as it looks right here, we're in for one hell of a time.
Half as good.
I- I'm emphasis on half, but I'm not going to spoil in case anybody's still going, "What the shit?" Well,
Oh,
speak.
you're talking about the movie. I thought we were talking about the show already. Let's just
Oh no,
uh,
no. Oh
I
yeah.
just I just wanted to get on right down to talk about my blushing bride in green over here.
Oh yes, yes, yes. So, in case any of you could not tell by now, Derek is a fan, but not just a fan. He is a super fan. A it's not that he just loves the character. It. It's hard to explain. I mean, I'm sure you guys are fans of things that just make you just lose all rationale and be a complete blittering idiot. For me, it was Vinyl Scratch, and during the My Little Pony days, it all would take us something, and I'd be like, "Oh, look, vinyl!" Whenever a vinyl thing would pop up.
She's literally on the top of the hierarchy of all my fictional crushes. Like right up there in the dominating with Sailor Jupiter and Rosalina from Super Mario.
Yes, those are all big deals for those who know you. And the idea of a show made you both excited and nervous because it could go so right or oh so wrong. But lately, Marvel MCU shows have been mostly hitting it out of the park. I hear people have grumblings about some things being rushed or some things not, being talked about or leaving loose threads. But for the most part, everyone agrees the MCU shows are miles and above better than your average superhero products put out there on television. I'm not saying that there's not outliers out there. I hear that Stargirl on CW is pretty good, and so is that new Superman and Lois show. But for the most part, you think of superhero stuff, and it's usually the big screen and like the big events, the big crossover. Those are like the big things, and you get your shows where you say, looks like they're running around in cosplay, or yeah, they're being more faithful to the stories and stuff, but the budget will leave much to be desired on those type of shows. I mean, Flash, bless its heart for being such a great show running as long as it did. But every now and then you'd be look at that and be like, "Yep, I am watching." We're 20 years after Smallville, and we still haven't evolved past the effects. It would seem.
Yeah, that's interesting. Go on, go on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah, the Marvel shows show you the same type of storytelling forever in threads, but with the more of a budget that's more in line with the movies or like the middle end movies. Like obviously, you're not going to get like Avengers Endgame level CGI and effects unless it's like the finale for most of these shows, but there are miles and above better than some of the stuff we used to get in the mid 2000s and stuff when it came to superhero shows like or eccentric style shows. Like I love Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, but sometimes you would see an effect in like Winston go, that could have used a little more time in the rendering farm, but TV deadlines and budgets would lead to less than stellar looking results. But the Marvel shows, they've really shown us that they were pretty good. Now, every now and then there would be an obvious budget thing that would get in the way. Like we laugh at Moon Knight, where we say, "Oh, we make a joke like there was this elaborate choreographed fight plan, but thanks to the budget, we're gonna just have him black out and say, oh crap, the fight's already over."
Yeah, but to its credit, actually led to more people tuning in, and honestly, it's kind of safe to say that not since Loki have people been talking about a Marvel show like this, like long after it's been like ended.
Well, hell, even WandaVision surprised us with some of its effects, where we'd be like, "Oh yeah, how cute! They're recreating Dick Van Dyke, or they're recreating Malcolm in the Middle," and then she would pull off a super effect, and you go, "Oh shit, we're still in the Marvel universe." Like one scene that comes to mind is when the drone shows up as a little airplane in her universe, helicopter, and she gets mad and comes out of the little bubble that she's made, and I go, "Oh, now it looks like legit MCU." But I'm just saying that it's interesting that She-Hulk is going to go in, but judging by the trailer, is still going to continue that tradition of like giving us big MCU style, characters and stuff on a smaller scale. So, little background for those of you who are new to the concept or think, oh, what's this all about? In the comics and in the animated shows, She-Hulk is Bruce Banner's cousin, Jenny Walters. Meek, mild mannered, ends up becoming an attorney of law and stuff, and thanks to a horrific accident is in need of a blood transfusion, and the only donor that's in him that can save her is Dr. Banner. Unfortunately, that comes with some side effects. But in this case, I think Derek would call them less bugs and more features. In her case,
Yeah, well, to be fair, in her debut, she became just as angry and savage as like regular Hulk, but it was kind of quick that her attitude kind of mellowed out. And in fact, on the opposite spectrum, where Bruce and Hulk have this like very erroneous relationship with one another, and just kind of have to lump it or leave it with the fact that they both have to exist in the same body. She-Hulk does not suffer with that. In fact, she pretty much improves her life having the She-Hulk, so much so to the fact that she is able to maintain the form for a longer time, which you've all seen pretty much with this Smart Hulk recently, thanks to Endgame.
yeah, and there have always been plans to get She-Hulk on the screen at one point. Hell, there was a pitch at a She-Hulk movie in the mid '80s, like early '90s, late '80s, where they even had like an actress in mind. There's even a photo shoot of her, and it never came to pass because those pesky rights. As we mentioned in our Spider-Man reviews and stuff.
Gee, it's almost like this is kind of a recurring thing from Marvel back in the 80s, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like oh we're about to do this, and okay your copyright expired. What we got all this stuff going on, and oh copyright expired. Come on, like shit. And but she has appeared in stuff. Like my first exposure to the character was the '90s Fox Kids TV show Incredible Hulk,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she is just as sassy and fun as her comic book counterpart in that. In fact, it seems like she really enjoys being the Hulk when she hulks out versus Banner, who, it's always a horrific mess when he's about. He knows, oh crap, whenever I black out and he takes over, people get hurt and stuff gets smashed. But in her case, it's like, I'm here to help and all that stuff.
In fact, fun fact is that long before the days of Deadpool being everyone's favorite fourth wall breaker, She-Hulk, for some reason, was the fourth wall breaker back in the 70s and 80s.
You would see that in her covers. Like she would make a joke like saying, "Oh crap, how's this gonna go?" Or like people catching her in mid dress and that kind of stuff. But she was always a little bit cheesecake, but she made it dignified and she had fun with it. It's like we had all these cosmic level ending events. We've had all these, horrific mutations and all these events like, Spider-Man becoming a man spider, Thanos, we have all that stuff. So every now and then it's nice when the comics remember to have a little fun. And She-Hulk maintained that while also developing like deep inner self introspection issues. She'd also have an issue where the day was do stuff as She Hulk, get into a little bit of a banter. Bad guy shows up, smash the bad guy, have a happy resolution. That tends to be like the formula. in those days, and it's nice when when you have other storylines where you got your main hero dealing with an alcoholism problem, or another guy finding out that he may or may not be a clone of a guy he thought he was the whole time. And oh, well, the less said about that saga, the better. But you know what I mean.
Right, and it's okay. So obviously there are some things for her that kind of might make one think, look, oh, she's basically just uh, Marvel's Dance to Wonder Woman, only she's green.
Not quite. Definitely not
I
quite.
mean,
That's
she is like just as smart and sexy as that, but it's the fact that she manages to take what Bruce Banner feared was going to be like a traumatizing thing that he would have inflicted upon her, even though he was saving her life. And it turns out it more than so helped her out. In fact, even like the the Hulk even respects the She Hulk's strength, and yeah, but so I Kelsey did mention that we also had a little bit of fear with the show being announced. And well, there was a recent outing that She Hulk was going where, okay, long story short, Bruce Banner got killed and Jennifer got like really like affected by that, and it affected her green to the point where she became gray, and she takes on the title of the Hulk.
oh,
And
it wasn't just Bruce dying. There were a crap ton of stuff leading up to her eventually going to a breaking point.
but yeah,
Uh,
but the Bruce dying was pretty much the final nail in the coffin with that.
and it was cool and all, but she took on traits like her cousin, where the more matter she'd get, the less intelligent she'd become, and the more brute she'd be, which was not a novel concept. Hell, Grace Randolph, famous YouTube commentator and former comic book writer, actually wrote a thing called Marvel High, and this is official. You can actually look this up. And one of the things about the clicks, it had She-Hulk, Jenny Walters, be like, sweet meek Jenny. But when she would Hulk out in a way more similar to her cousin, because Grace always found that unusual that She-Hulk didn't go that way. So she was actually one of the first people to explore that in like a small little pocket thing. And
It,
way
the way you described it almost sounds like it's a comic book version of that Katie Kaboom skit on Animaniacs.
possibly. But I don't know. I gotta find out. But she mentioned it before that she was one of the first two to explore that. But yeah, the idea was that she'd be she'd have to learn to control this because she spent so many years coasting by on this is me and everything, but losing so badly in that incident in Civil War II, losing her cousin that was her promised mentor and wasn't given a chance before being summarily executed, all because of a little hearsay. Watch Atop the Fourth Wall's Immense Comics about how Tony Stark is an even bigger idiot in this event than he was in the last one, but we're not going to get into that. Uh,
Future!
Yeah, yeah. But she also was witness for one of her comrades at arms die, you know, with a direct punch to the gut by Thanos, and the stray missile nearly killed her. So that brought her to her with her own mortality. So this surefire confidence she had kind of was crumbling, and that led way to the darker instincts of the beast to take forward because she was a savage She-Hulk before, but this is like a whole other level. So it has its fans and detractors. It has some good art moments and some moments where you're going, did you guys even have the assignment? I mean, there was a recent event called World War She-Hulk, and they had an issue cover of her as the Red Widow Hulk, and Derek just had to ask, "What the hell are they doing to her?" And
I
I go,
mean, well, I wasn't opposed to the whole notion that they were going to have Jenny step up to take the place of the Hulk. I mean, I honestly just shrugged and thought, it'll be like another 6 month thing. They'll do this thing, it'll go down a bit. They'll bring back Bruce again, just like they always do.
The Immortal Hulk is a great series, by the way. Horror meets Hulk, really awesome. But also,
And
also leads to that weird thing revealing that the Green Door shows that the Hulk's powers are connected to Hell, which we found out in a recent Death Battle. We're like, wait, what?
it's comic books. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Anyways, um, the fact is, a lot of the detractors really didn't like the change because, well, I hate to say it, but She Hulk just didn't look sexy. Now, I never thought of that because I'm kind of a little. I mean,
I know.
there's no easy way to put it out. I kind of
You
have
know,
a fancy with buff
muscle
women
girls.
a little bit. Just like
So
I'm not against like the curvy ones. It's just like the ones that have muscle tend to get my attention a little bit more.
well, like imagine Princess Peach or Rosalita, but doing the she can do it pose, but with some real guns. In fact, I'm pretty sure you're pretty happy with the guns Miss Portman is putting on in the upcoming Love and Thunder.
She really worked out, didn't she?
In Soviet Russia, Padme choke you. But anyway, you're right. So point is though, we knew this wasn't going to be a permanent thing to the She-Hulk mythos. And when they announced the show, they were in the middle of these events happening. And we thought, are they going to follow that route? And oh god, are people going to start flinging crap at the screen like the because comic fan complainers are nothing new. We've had comics, that's since the no prize days of Marvel. So that's nothing new. But when it starts bleeding into more the current more pop culture zeitgeist videos, you're going to start seeing 1,000 videos about agenda this and image that. It gets all sort of infuriating. It's why it's so hard to talk about things we love, like say Star Wars or Star Trek, because every now and then you're going to get that one obnoxious jerk who's going to have to tell you exactly why you're wrong for having an opinion or why you're right. It's become much more of a minefield than it has been in recent years. It baffles me sometimes.
Yeah, but pretty soon another thing I didn't like was they changed the logo at one point to try to make it look like it's Law and Order, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like the teaser logo that they gave like a year back better. Which thank God they actually managed to change it back again and like even improved significantly this time.
Yeah. And not only are we getting She-Hulk, we're also getting Miss Marvel later. That looked nice. So that's why Derek was worried that okay, She-Hulk is supposedly this year, but we're getting footage for Thor: Love and Thunder, for Multiverse of Madness, for Miss Marvel, but
I
no
honestly thought we were gonna have another case of the
pushback.
pushbacks, but could you blame me? And it's like I could literally sing the limericks of all the other projects that have been pushed into the bygone timeline of 2023.
Excuse me, wrong pipe. But yeah, I mean, look at poor Across the Spider Verse. That one still stings.
And the list just keeps on growing. But thankfully, not this time because She Hulk is definitely landing on August 17th. And that's definitely going to be a good in between focus between Thor and whatever the hell they're going to try to do with Black Panther. I'm still confused. What are they going to do with it? So they want to continue, but they don't want to replace him, but they don't want to like do a deep fake. So it's like,
We'll find out.
are you just going to use a hand puppet for like T'Challa?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited because of August because, well, August is my birth month, and I am more of a
Bastard.
more of a Hulk guy than growing up and everything like that. So you can see why She-Hulk appeals to me too. Plus, we're getting more Mark Ruffalo as Professor Banner here. But the thing is that also I'm excited because I don't have Hulu, but I may sign up because we're also getting Prey, a Predator prequel set 300 years before the movies that depicts the Comanche tribe running into the hunter, and we got like a 40-second teaser of that, so that got me excited.
Yeah, I feel like a certain fan film director out there is just going to be like, "Hey, I came up with that first."
And quote Zemo, did it? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, She-Hulk. This trailer just dropped like a bomb. And one funny thing, this is probably something since we're both fans of Sonic too. The advertising song in this song is the exact same funky, peppy action song from the Sonic 2 trailer, the final trailer.
Really now.
Yeah, the one where Robotnik gets the emerald and is welcome to the new norm. It's that bum ba dum bum 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 bum. But great, it's the Winter Soldier. It's the same exact song that played for She-Hulk in that one. But
Huh. That must be a de facto trailer music.
Hell, Jurassic Park Dominion's trailer is using the Jurassic Park motif on top of the same trailer theme they used for the Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer. That bum 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 bum. You know that trailer. It's the one that isn't Hallelujah. But
Huh.
I notice these things. I don't know. I edit trailers a lot myself, so I tend to notice that thing. I'm sure Multiverse Creations sees it like, oh hey, they're doing that. But the this thing has got good energy. It sets up what you need to know. It introduces you to Jenny right away, played by Tatiana Maslany, uh, and she gets Jenny right away. Like, what amazes me is when she actually hulks out, she is the splitting image of the comic covers that you'd see back in those days. Hell, even this what I have on the poster right now is a comic image, and I thought that her She-Hulk face is 1 to 1, and I like how they made her look like green and everything without making her look like a copy of Zoe Saldana's Gamora or anything like that. Because we've seen colored people in the Marvel universe where there's different shades, but this actually looks like, oh, she's an irradiated gamma mutant.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because the the thumbnail for the trailer that I saw, it's the Marvel Entertainment one. It has Tatiana in her normal state with just a little bit of green shade. I thought, oh, okay, she's gonna have a bit of curly hair. I mean, it's not too inaccurate. I mean, she did kind of start with curly green locks at her debut, but as soon as she hulks out, like my jaw pretty much just dropped to the floor. Just see it as like, is this my birthday?
Yeah, he's pretty much
But
dressed.
oh my gosh, she Marvel's just hitting it out of the park with these one-to-one comic representations.
Now, I think they are going to
It's
give.
like I feel like it should be illegal at this point. It's like some lawyers should be coming up with like, hey, we can't have like things looking this accurate. We have to have our own thing. We have to fit everyone in a black leather or something. And Kevin Feige's over here saying, "Get out of here!" And then giving him the boot out the door.
Hell, even Stephen Strange's recent outfit in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is more closer to the comics than his No Way Home outfit, which makes sense because Sam Raimi's a fan. Oh, but the what's interesting too is that but people were concerned because one thing that happened over the course of the Marvel movies is you get that what okay, let it be known here as always, usually by my art, by my video style and everything like that. I am a transformation enthusiast, and I guess you could say Hulk was one of those inspirations since the animated series had that happen all the time. But the thing is that the MCU had that one great transformation sequence in Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton on the table. I mean, he had a lot of great scenes that were like, dang. And then you get that one really tense, fright-filled one in Avengers. And then as the movies went on, they always like to say, let's have him Hulk out off screen because I think the audience gets the point at this point. I go, no, no, why you gotta do that? Because he tends to
No,
hold.
I'm pretty sure they'll definitely give like the first debut like its actual shot.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but I'm talking about about in the MCU how that happened over time. Then they kind of did away with the problem by having them both become a singular being in Endgame. But I'm just saying though that I could tell in this thing they're gonna do it because you have one little shot that a lot of She-Hulk enthusiast fans, muscle growth fans have always done in their arts is the classic shoe rip, the shrip, and you do see it in one frame in this in her thing. And hell, there's some iconic covers of like Jenny mid changing in her lawyer outfit and usually like being pissed off about it, like telling the bad guy, "Oh, come on, this was my only suit," and like breaking the what was
even the Marvel TLDR like short animated series like did that with the I forget what the storyline was called, but it involved She-Hulk having to help defend old Captain America against Matt Murdock. But Matt Murdock was assigned by Steve so that they could actually have an even fight. She-Hulk just raged out at Steve. Was like, "Come on, Steve! This is the justice system."
But yeah, but they did say this was going to be a legal comedy akin to something like, say, Ally McBeal, and I'm sure some of you guys feel really old if you remember that show. But yeah, it's going to be like Law and Order meets Ally McBeal type thing with a little bit of heroing thrown in. And I like the fact that Mark Ruffalo is a co-star in this thing. Hell, I was even surprised when we saw an old face. We saw good old Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky in his little cell in the Pokey, from Civil War, the
And
rap.
I'm surprised that it is Tim. Like the dude's looking like on in his age a little bit. I guess maybe it might be like a side effect from finally calming down a bit and actually changing back.
Well, yeah, I mean, then again, Blonsky was already an old guy by the time of Incredible Hulk. That's why he needed the serum to become back. Like he says, if I had what I knew now put in the body I had 10 years ago, that would be a man I wouldn't want to fight. And then he started getting addicted to it and ended up putting so much stuff in himself that he turned into, well, an abomination. And what's funny is they're trying to go for this realistic, like, why does he have gills and stuff in the comics? Let's go for a more of a deformed muscle mass guy. Like, kind of like
Which
Jekyll.
works, but that this was at the time we were starting to shake off the whole like, okay, they don't have to be that realistic. I mean, we like just throw us a bone here, just give it comic accuracy just a little bit,
And
which has become slowly but surely the thing nowadays. So
But yeah, and that's why we were surprised when Blonsky made a cameo in Shang-Chi as one of the fighters in the ring with Wong during that underground tournament ring thing.
and this point, a lot of people realize that that's just pretty much like a 2 minute cameo.
Yeah, but still, it's funny the fact that he still exists in it because throughout the entire MCU, there's always small references to Blonsky, this and that. Like even Hector, the Sitwell, Mr. Sitwell, uh, that one Shield trader that ended up turning into a street pizza after the Winter Soldier got through with him. Mentioned things about Blonsky, this and that, and all those shorts when he's talking to like Coulson and stuff. So we know that the Abomination was the thing. Hell, they even said that one of the containers in for Shield was made for someone like the Abomination, and they would use it on Hulk in case he would like go nuts. So it's nice to finally see him after what, like, so many years since Incredible. So it's like what, 12 years. So
Yeah, that's about right.
yeah, so I mean, it looks like that he has a presence. Some people are saying, oh boy, I can't wait to see a Hulk rematch with Abomination." I'm like, well, even if he does fight him, Hulk's not quite the same Hulk he was in Harlem. So I think if you do have that happen, you'd be disappointed, and you'd probably be even mad if She-Hulk ends up being the one taking out Blonsky, and you guys are gonna be yelling out agenda and blah, blah. So let's avoid that whole bag of worms and let it just sit in fan speculation of what if Hulk fought Abomination again. Because if you get it now, it's not going to work out. I mean, look what happened to the poor fella at the Battle of New York, Part Two, with Thanos and everything. And this is one arm tied, for crying out loud. By the way, it looks like his arms are healed enough that he could use both arms because he was using them in the computer and everything.
Yeah, I think the see, I was kind of like had like this weird like off topic thought before like the trailer happens that I guess like Hulk should like at this point have his arm kind of restored since like the Hulk is all about like hyper regenerating cells and all that.
It just took longer
Like
because it was from an
like
Infinity.
like, like they literally make a big deal out of the fact that his own blood can literally like reignite a far off planet's ecosystem.
Oh yeah,
So it seems that my theory is pretty much right, and his arm is pretty much all the better.
but yeah, and one part that makes me laugh that this is so Mark Ruffalo is when she does change, and he's like, "Yes, yes," and she's hitting the door. No,
Oh
no.
no no no!
But I love, and I know there's some lines, but I'm already liking the writing too. With listen, these things will usually run off of fear and emotion. No, anger and fear. You're talking about
That's literally about the exact amount of composition of every female in the entire world.
the. So yeah, I'm excited. I know there's some people who say, I know it looks a little unfinished or just this and that, but Derek's probably doing that whole little.
Just people just shut up for goodness sakes. I mean, like, what did you expect? This is a TV series. It's not going to have the huge, massive blockbuster budget, but it's still pretty much like the budget you would probably see in like the first Avengers movie at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier pretty much kept the budget of something like, say, the Winter Soldier, which wasn't too effects heavy. It was mostly stunt heavy. So I think Falcon and Winter Soldier did a good job with that. Moon Knight is a little more up there in like the extravagance versus like the mundane. And they really put their budget in that final episode when you had like a spoilers, you had like a freaking kaiju fight happen between gods for crying out loud.
The point is that like we all have to remember that the effects don't make or break a story. It's going to be the characters that's going to make us invested for these. That's why
But
like what to get invested in Moon Knight.
yeah, yeah, but you gotta admit, sometimes you would have that immersion kind of broken if you get claws a la X-Men Origin Wolverines out of nowhere. Come on, we were watching that, and
Well,
even you
from
went,
what I've seen in this trailer, we're not going to get anywhere near close to that like awkwardness.
yeah, but like I'm saying though,
And plus, it's still like a few months away for goodness sakes. I'm sure it's like what it would just take about like 3 weeks to clean it up after the trailer.
well, yeah, but the point is though, it looks pretty good, and Hulk looks pretty good, and what one scene that makes me laugh in the middle of the whole, quick cutting is you see her sleeping and Hulk uses an air horn to wake her up, and that that made me laugh for some reason.
Hmm.
But point is
But
though, it's
yeah,
gonna have
but
humor, it's gonna have
I,
action.
I also definitely wanted to point out that I am completely happy with the fact that they're actually going to delve into the fact that Jenny's confidence gets to have a boost, be that she gets to have this screen makeover, and like suddenly all people are like in love with her, which is a complete 180 from whenever the Hulk debuted. Everyone's like, ah, Fred, a big green ugly monster. But when she steps out, everyone's just like, are you seeing anyone?
Exactly. Well, the ending stinger of the trailer has her like doing dating app, and Derek is a little bit of a bit of a braggart that he says that one of the names they showed was his name, and that's the one she stopped off. I,
She, her mouth dropped at the sight of whatever Derek was on in that screen,
and
the
I'm
reverse shot.
I'm sure you
I was
wouldn't,
gonna say like I'm not like total out of shape, but like I'm pretty average.
but
But
you would
look,
be happy
but
to be who.
yeah, but it's because after watching this trailer, I finally decided like, you know what, I might need to work out a little bit.
That's great.
It's
But what's funny is that I'm sure you wouldn't mind being that gentleman at the end who decides to go home with her with fries, and he's being cradled in her arms rather than the woman in the guy's arms. You have her holding. It. I just thought I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are saying that could be me someday. Although in your case, you'd also looking at Jenny and thinking that could be me too someday too.
oh goodness. Sorry, I blanked out a little bit there. What were we talking about?
She-Hulk. Anyway, so your first impression, obviously, you're enthusiastic. Now, are there any tiny concerns that just in the show, not from any reactions, just in the show you're seeing right now that you say you might worry or think? Well, hopefully, you don't hope that they don't either miss out or overuse anything.
Not none that I could figure. I mean, um, the only concern I have is the fact that there's people out there that are reacting to this news and thinking that this is somehow a recent like gender like propaganda thing to like replace Mark Ruffalo with like someone else that's a woman and make her be the Hulk. And I feel like you just had to bring up that clip of Kristoff from Frozen. Someone's got to tell him.
Well, I mean, there's this, not to get on a tangent, and I loathe to bring this up, but it has to be bear mentioning. There's been this recent push by certain advocates against these type of things, calling the new wave the MCU, and I just gag every time that thing comes up. But people take it seriously, like they're calling that with sorry, they're calling that with like Jane Foster's Mighty Thor going to emasculate Odin's son in this thing. They're going to talk about how Wanda was pretty much hijacking Doctor Strange's movie. They're talking about, I'm sure Captain Carter would contribute to that talk. The rumors of little sister taking over the mantle of Black Panther. I mean, there's just a lot of things
What
people.
well, that last one is like well, our hands are kind of tied. The dude's like 3 feet in the ground in real life. What are we supposed to do?
Anyway, yeah, but this thing is like there's a yeah, I think because Star Wars is on a rebound and there's not as much news coming out, some of the vultures need new bones to pick at, and the Marvel universe has bled a little with some of its most recent endeavors not quite being untouchable. Saying, remember what Vanko told Stark: "If you could make God bleed, the people will cease to believe in him, and there will be blood in the water, and the sharks will come. The sharks are coming, man."
Yeah.
I know. I don't mean I say gloom and doom for the MCU, but I'm just saying though is that let's face it, Endgame was such a pinnacle point that it doesn't matter what they
There's
did at.
literally leeches of people that are saying like, yeah, the MCU show just stop right there. It's like, what's the point?
Well, we're having all. I mean, we wouldn't have had Moon Knight if they decided to stop, and I'm happy for that. We wouldn't have had Sylvie and Loki having such great scenes in Loki if that they
We
stopped it
wouldn't
right there.
have Captain fucking Carter debut without like if we just stopped right there.
Right, rumor has it they're probably talking about doing something more with her, more substantial, because the cameo was just a cameo. So let's not split hairs over that. But they say that if the reaction is so strong that they say, oh, we're going to definitely make something happen with this. And given that most of the reception that there were cheers in the theater when she did show up, I'm guessing that's a good sign that yeah, they were testing the waters if they really want to do a full blown Carter project. So if that I'm sure if She Hulk does really well, that'll bolster their confidence in making more. Cause I don't think they want to make a bunch of female led shows and go, oh, they're going to accuse us of this and have
Well,
a hurt.
because we also have Miss Marvel coming out, and that's a female-led show too.
But
So,
it's a kid coming of age kid story, which we don't have much often in the MCU. But yeah, so I think it looks fun and charming. The writing looks. I'm confident in that they're making this a 10 episode series. I'm going to guess that they're not going to be hour-long episodes like Moonlight, probably more in the 30, 40, 20 range. So I'm not going to be surprised by that. So, but hey, if they can deliver all the good stuff in those small few pockets, it's going to be fun waking up Wednesday mornings. Because right now, me and Derek are suffering withdrawals from no Moon Knight.
I mean, it's are we really the only ones out there feeling that?
A lot of people are. I mean, all the cute drawings of especially of Tarawet and Kayla and Mr. Knight. Like, oh my god, oh, people really love these characters. That's great.
I'm definitely making sure I'm setting up, getting a day off for both the premiere and the finale because there ain't no way in hell I am waiting the entire workday just so I could just get home and like watch the freaking like ending. 'Cause that would just like literally kill my insides inside out.
But yeah, and like I
Especially
says,
if, especially if the cliffhanger is gonna be just as like taunting as literally all the other MCU shows have been.
oh yeah, cliffhanger setup. Where Derek would go, what? Quote Jonathan, but why? Why would you do any of that? Oh, Moon Knight had the biggest tease. Where you're like,
Oh no, no, no! My reaction is pretty much like matches with Woody from Toy Story 2. Hey, wait, what happens? What happens next? Come on, let's see the next episode.
but yeah, so She-Hulk definitely looking really good. She the
So
quirkiness shows. The
I,
quirkiness
I
really
think
shows.
we at least have a little bit of a time to theorize what we like. Let's not get like crazy at things. Like the last time we did, a certain somebody didn't like a recent outing with certain preconceptions. So
Was that someone you?
uh, I'm just saying like it's a 10 episode series. Let's just kind of like spitball some ideas of what we think might be a thing. For
Well,
I feel like this might be like the most outlandish of them, but I think Bruce might not have full control of his Hulk thing as he thinks he believes. Like maybe we might be able to see some Gray Hulk starting to peer through.
Joe Fix It.
Yeah, the The initial debut where it's like the Hulk has some intelligence, but it's definitely more of a antagonistic brute.
And he became a gangster too, if I remember. He was wearing like that pinstripe uniform in the '80s. And then there was, of course, the okay, I want to smash this in the bug. I don't think we're going to see any X-Men appear in this because people are saying which project is going to be the one to bring in the X-Men.
Guys, just stop. It's clearly Phase 5 is going to be the whole mutant thing. Let's just get that out of there, okay?
Yeah.
Like Disney just only acquired 20th Century Fox and like all the properties with it. There's like literally like a few years in advance to plan out some of this stuff. Like I think the only thing that they were able to plan out for Phase 4 was Fantastic Four, but I'm pretty sure there were like, I mean, come on, after the last outing with the movie, do you honestly think Fox is gonna even try to get a second chance at that one?
Well, to be fair, the director was doing a lot of stuff that was going off the rails before they even got to the movie, and then there was a whole studio meddling. I mean, it's one sad clusterfuck that led to why Fan Four Stick turned out the way it did.
And just pretty much why Disney pretty much believed they had it in the bag to reacquire the rights with it. Like even before they bought out Fox, I'm sure Fox was going like, okay, wait a minute, we have no goddamn idea what to do with these four guys.
Well, just all you gotta do is Disney owns it. Disney's gotta look at Incredibles and say, hell, give the Fantastic Four movie to Brad Bird. I'm pretty sure every fear will be resolved.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the help wanted sign is open on that front. So who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe it actually happened.
it's either that or John Krasinski may be directing since he's doing Quiet Place stuff. I'm not saying there's any reason why he should be involved, but wink, wink, nudge,
Maybe
nudge.
maybe that cameo in Multiverse of Madness was kind of hinting at something. It's like, John Krasinski, what are you doing here? Just teasing something.
I'm kind of just showing people how flexible I am. Just really stretching out there. But yeah. In the theory, I'm thinking of like it looks like Titania or Titania, whatever they call the orange bad lady, is going to be in it too.
But you don't think she's gonna be in the her own show?
So she is going to be. She is going to be in it. I said
Okay. And what your theory is being?
I don't have a theory. I'm just saying it looks like that's going to be a thing. So I was either going to tie her thing to Jenny somehow about why she's angry at her and everything. Hopefully a certain blind law also shows up. Jenny's going to go up against the best. We need some really good lawyers here. Very good lawyers, as a matter of fact.
Uh, we also I was able to manage to catch some snippets of a certain black and yellow colored hero like being dressed up, and that's I think it escapes me. I think it's Hellcat,
Oh yeah.
which if anyone's in the know, Hellcat is pretty much a partner in the firm that Jenny works with. So
So nice to know that we're getting more of the supporting cast because Jenny is not just an accessory to Banner in the comics. She gets her own arcs and stuff and her own support crew and staff. It's like how Murdoch has Folgy or Folger. You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah, Foggy and Karen and
Elektra every now and then.
yeah, but I also did like that in the trailer wherever her friend describes, "Hey, you should be an adventurer," and Jenny strikes it out and say, "No, I'm not a superhero. That is basically for billionaires and adult orphans, apparently." And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there going, like, you pretty much just described your comic counterpart's crush.
Oh yeah. Did she have a thing for
Tony Stark. Yep, it was
Cody too?
the Iron Man and She-Hulk relationship was pretty much Marvel's answer to the DC flirting around with, hey, maybe Bruce Bruce Wayne might have a thing for Diana Prince.
Oh, they really pushed that hard on Justice League Theatrical Edition. One of the few good things there, I might add. Come on, gotta admit it. That part
They
was
they they teased a little bit in the Zack Snyder one too, but
it's more overt in the
I
theatrical
basically
edition.
I basically mostly remember the animated version where that's
Oh my god, that kid stuff has one of the best. Oh my god, dude, you're making me happy just thinking about that. That confirmation, basically. Well, hell, I think you'd rather Bruce Prince rather than Brutasha, which came the fuck out of nowhere. Even when we rewatch the MCU, every now and then he'll go, "Where did this come from?"
but yeah, Natasha's dead in the ground, so we don't have to worry about that.
For now.
I I might have a theory that they might look into actually getting Beta Brant into this because they kind of tease a little bit. I was gobsmacked at the fact that they actually even acknowledged Betty in one of the What If episodes
They even
involving
made her look like Liv Tyler.
she looks exactly like her Universal actor, and I'm thinking like maybe Universal might have like let loose the reins and say, well, we're really not doing anything with Hulk, so whatever, you can like do with the rights of the movie characters, but we still get the theme park thing in our Florida park.
Oh, well, one thing's for sure. I don't think you know who I know won't appear for sure unless they did his stuff before his passing. But Thaddeus Ross. If they do bring back Ross, it'd have to be either recasted or the last of footage they used of. I don't know if William Hurt was attached to this or not, but he did unfortunately pass away earlier this year due to natural causes. So yeah,
Right.
people are really
So
pushing hard for Red Hulk for some reason, though.
I really couldn't see William Hurt doing mocap for Red Hulk. I'm just saying.
Oh, there's all those funny photoshops of him though, being all red and everything. And you're like,
But we're basically hoping that She-Hulk is pretty much finally MCU like giving a actual dedicated Hulk story, basically. Because the most they could do is just have him be attached to another person, like either being in an Avengers team or like tag along with Thor. Like the Incredible Hulk was like the only point where like Universal allowed the connection that happened.
well, hell, I remember people were still shocked in theaters when over there
But
just
that was the moment that people were going like, "Oh shit, maybe the Avenger thing is actually going to happen."
yeah with Tony Stark. What if I told you we're putting together a team? Drunk Ross, who's we?
Uh, but unfortunately, there's not much left of the trailers. It would just basically just be gushing at every single frame of like She-Hulk being right there, and that wouldn't really make for a good podcast if I'm just basically just going to go gaga over it.
Well, it's good for me because I knew I had to do this. I knew we had to talk about it and do it live. So, because otherwise, if I recorded this and we talked about it, it might never see the light of day. But so August can't come soon enough, man. It's like what 3 months away. So 3 months of hype for She-Hulk. And have you seen any previous image of Tatiana as She-Hulk before this came out?
Apart from the what was it, the Disney Plus day teaser that they were doing?
Uh huh.
Not really.
Oh, good. So you didn't see that leak of her full reveal hero look in the water bottles and stuff, right?
No, no. I might have seen glances of it, but I always kind of averted my eyes like immediately. It's like, nope, nope, not looking at any artist rays. I want to see the real thing right here in my face.
Sure, you're glad you did because lived. I think it's surpassed your expectations so far. I think the only thing that would make it more better is that during her going out on a date dress thing or her hero look, she's going to a costume montage, and one of those costumes is the iconic purple white one piece.
Well, isn't she pretty much just doing that in the trailer?
But it's oh yeah, I think she does do a montage, but yeah, the outfit she has looks like one of her more recent ones, where it's like more like athletic shorts and a top rather than just a swimsuit, which is fine. But I'm pretty sure
But
as a,
no, actually, upon closer look on my big screen, before we actually started this, it actually does look like it's a one unit piece. So
but yeah, I know like he gushes about comic accuracy. Like we freaked out when Sam Wilson came out as Captain America, the Falcon. Uh, Moon Knight's pretty on par. Uh,
seeing the freaking Scarlet Witch like actually get like a proper outfit instead of all the fan renderings of like that skippy bunny outfit with a cape essentially.
well, we did get that with the Halloween costume, thankfully.
Yeah, they gave a throwaway line of like, "Oh, this is what a Sokovian fortune teller is."
But yeah, but to actually see her, it was beautiful. I mean, that's Derek. He was like, "Oh," so yeah, it was just beautiful seeing that red, and she was, almost regal and majestic. So, you know what show I'm curious about when we get to see it? Ironheart and Armor Wars, because we know it's no easy budget keeping a lot of Iron Man suits running. So I wonder how they're gonna do War Machine in those.
Right, because War Machine tends to get different looks, but that's because I'm pretty sure the only reason you got those upgrades were probably because Tony helped, and we're kind of down a JS billionaire playboy philanthropist in the MCU currently.
So, apparently we're
But
also.
that could actually lead to bringing in the new lead for Ironheart, so that could be a thing.
Oh, and another thing too, we're also getting a Werewolf
I'm
by
honestly
Night.
stumped I'm honestly stumped of where these other things are going to come. It's like they're all just they only have like the 2023 stamp, but I'm just going like, okay, can you ballpark exactly which order any of these shows are going to be in?
There's also the Secret War show coming out.
Secret Invasion.
Oh yes, with Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, and guys like what 80 these days.
Are you sure about that?
And the point is, he's a little up there, but he's going to be headlining that show along with Emilia Clarke of Game of Thrones fame. She was also Kiora in Solo.
But yeah, and I was my other question is like, what about the season twos for certain shows like what if Loki and Moon Knight? When are they going to get? Or we have to really wait for the other shows to come through for any the first run shows get their second seasons.
Well, it took us a while to get like any of the Star Wars season twos announced, but they do happen.
Yeah, but Mandalorian season two literally just came out like what a year later.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe we'll be getting news on those follow-ups. We know that Falcon and Winter Soldier will be followed up with the Captain America 4 movie that's in development.
which is not touted as a Phase 4 film, so that'll be what a long ass while.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, uh, the MCU shows are really making me happy about my Disney Plus investment. I still use HBO Max, especially because they put new movies that I don't get often. Like, oh, I get to see this here. But my real streaming premium goes to Disney Plus. Definitely ain't going to Netflix, but maybe they might sway me with a couple of announcements. I don't know. I don't know what it would take, but I'd be like, oh shit. But Disney Plus definitely has my
I'm,
attention.
I'm about ready to jump ship out of Netflix. They're making decisions that are making me go, nope, don't like that.
I will stay for an
This is
Evangel.
literally not. This is literally not what I signed up for to begin with.
I would stick around for an Evangelion live action adaptation if it was announced, and I would just watch it just to see what that would look like. Cause well, hey, it's
Wait,
Han, it's me.
well, you gotta wait for that because they're focusing on the live action Gundam project they're doing.
Live action One Piece as well.
Jesus Christ!
Cast looks ecstatic and happy. They actually kind of look like their characters, and that was just
No, it means that they're going to have to cook up a like half-assed ending because like who honestly thinks they're going to actually make like what a 15 season run
it's like what 900 episodes, I think.
and counting.
Yeah,
Although the creator himself says, like, "Oh no, I'm almost done with the manga. I swear to God, it's coming. Just need to push out a few more bits of the world." But I'm pretty much
yeah. It's just yeah. The quote. Sinister Strange thing
reaching
just got out of hand. Sorry, I mean that's become my go-to quote. Like,
the at least I was about to say, like, well, at least that's one creative mind that's actually looking to end his thing instead of leaving everyone waiting around for, like, what is it, 13 plus years. Martin,
oh god damn. Yeah.
yeah, I fucking went there.
Although House of the Dragon, Matt Smith, Tigerian, Dragons, me and Megan, all in. Yeah, that's the reason I'm going to be keeping HBO Max because that also comes out in August. Hmm, I'm going to be spending a lot on streaming that month. But yeah, She-Hulk is looking fun, quirky. I don't see no real cause for concern other than the occasional writing hiccup, but nothing that can't be too egregious to make me say, uh, my how's it go? Breakfast is ruined and my disappointment. You know the line, right?
Yeah, sure.
Breakfast is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable. I don't see nothing that's like that. So no red flags. And Tatiana looks like she's having a ball in the role, which is all I ask for people to do. I mean, one of the reasons I love Moon Knight is that friggin' Oscar Isaacs just lights up the screen as either persona. So if she can do the same with Jenny, then we're in for a treat. All right,
All I
so
want to know is, how long do we have to wait for a Marvel Legends figure of this?
not long because we're already getting a Moon Knight figure, and he's just been announced. And we're getting What If figures not long after their episodes. So I'm pretty sure this, hopefully within the year, we'll get a She-Hulk figure of this one. Oh, and you're going to so proudly display her on your Marvel Legends MCU TV show rack because I know you have Loki with Sylvie, and you got Wanda and White Viz, Walker with Bucky and Sam, right? Zemo?
Yeah, it basically wherever shelf I could find her in.
Yeah. So you'll definitely stick Jenny like on your top niche Legends figures. Alrighty then.
So yeah, I'm excited. Just a little bit worn out for the day, but just keep in mind this thing actually helped muster up like second wind in me for workday, and that's saying something.
And he drew a picture too.
Yeah, color it tomorrow. I just want to like sit back and kind of relax in some games for now, but that's this
Thanks
impromptu thing.
thanks for coming up for this. So until I think the next time we'll talk about this is definitely with the proper review. Hell, I've had a mind to do reviews of the shows for a while now, and I'll set aside time for that because Lord knows we'll be here for eternity trying to do the movies. So I think focusing on the shows would be a good little little caveat. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're definitely covering this show though for sure. It's definitely for your sake.
Yeah.
All right, then. So, well, this has been a ramble. I hope you guys enjoy coming by. This is Josie Castaneda 9, aka Chris, signing off with my usual partner, Derek, aka Dark Neon.
She-Hulk!
And remember, true believers, Excelsior!